Microphone would help, wouldn't it? Hello, darlings. Microphone is on, isn't it? Hello, darlings. And a wibbly wobbly willy waving warm welcome to Saturday Night Live with me for the next not that long. I need to catch up on some sleep. How has your day been, darlings? Thank you so much for staying up late to join me. Cheers, your very good health. Bottoms up. Fantastic. Now then, let's waste no time and dive straight into it like Christopher Biggins diving into a giant chocolate mousse. Oh no, there's an image, isn't it? Well, what a lovely way to start a live stream. A brand new channel member, a new name in green, another lovely person helping to keep this rambuckle old channel rolling along in some way, shape or form by becoming a channel member, gaining access to all of the fabulous perks. And, you know, I mean, they are fabulous. This is a pretty exclusive club we're talking about, and all for a few pence a month, but it really, really helps. So thank you and welcome to Hubnut Automotive. Hubnut Automotive, there we are. Well, welcome Hubnut Automotive, and thank you very much for your support. It's enormously appreciated. Steve Colg is with us. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here. Hello, Mr. Boaty. Jimmy F500. I was looking at a live stream and then I fell asleep. I then found myself looking at a man in a dressing gown, showing some leg and farting. From then it went down into a dark place. Was I still asleep? Yep. That was a dream, Jimmy F500. Just a dream. Nothing to worry about. Hi everyone, says the lovely Sophie. How are we all? And how has your day been, my lovelies? My day has been grand, Sophie. Thank you for asking, and I hope that yours has too. Good evening, Boaty and all, says Jimmy Quinn, the lovely Jimmy. Good evening to you. Michael Burrows is here and says, hi, Boaty, my love. But we know it's not the real Michael Burrows, because the real Michael Burrows gave himself quite properly and correctly a capital B in his surname. And this chap doesn't. It's a lowercase b. So, but there we are. A big hello to you anyway. Magic Lady, there's a new name to conjure with. Hi, lover. Hello to you, darling. Skick is here, the fabulous Skick, for about 6 months now, says Skick. I've been having a problem with a rash on my face. It's down the sides of my nose, above my top lip, and in my eyebrows. And it's getting worse. Oh, well, that's not great, Skick. A friend of mine gave me some oil to put on it, and it made it worse. In fact, this time it's scabbed. Well, have you consulted your general practitioner, Skick? Or, you know, given that you're quite a wealthy man, perhaps you go private. But either way, I would take your rash to a medical personage and get a slightly more expert opinion on it. Hi, Boaty, says Magic Lady. Hello to you. Good evening, all, shouts Trace. Fresh from my own live stream, which I'm sure was fabulous, I am now suitably attired. Oh, God, that means she's naked. I'm now suitably attired for a Boaty visual feast and a good old chat. Andrew Buttigieg is bum. Andrew Buttigieg is here. We know him as Ivor Swatty Butty. Yes. And Andrew says, a very good evening, Boaty, and everyone in the chat. The M11 is here. A very pleasant evening to you, Sir Boatalot. Our very own Knight of the Brown Table. I rather like that. Lots of love from the Lady of the Lemons, and lots of love back at you and all of your service stations. And have areas of you been coned off this evening, M11? That's what we need to know. Peter P is here. Good evening, all. Don't forget to like, says Jimmy. And Andrew says, first thing I did, Jimmy, I hit the like, as indeed did 6 others of you, which is exceedingly kind. Evening, Boaty and chat, says Chris McGuire. Trey says, I had a new chatter on my live stream. His name was Jesus, but I don't think he was the real Jesus, because he asked if I had an OnlyFans and didn't bless me and all the little children. Oh dear. Well, perhaps it was Jesus. Perhaps his name was Jesus, and he was a Hispanic gentleman, and perhaps he just wanted to see your naught, and he's not the Son of God, or whatever else Jesus is supposed to be. Anyway, he can't be the real Jesus, because we know that the real Jesus is, he spends most of his time hanging out at a wild and windswept car yard in the environ of Rochdale, didn't he? And he keeps making videos and live streams and things. Did he do a live stream tonight? I didn't see one. Alan Simpson is right amongst us and says, good evening, Mr. Boaty. Good evening to you. Will you be taking part in Drive It Day tomorrow? And if so, what shall be thy steed? I won't, Alan, I won't. Tomorrow I will be doing some more valeting on Windsor Davis, and generally preparing for Monday and filming episode 2 of Wales, Revisiting My Homeland. I was quite pleased with episode 1, and some of you have been very kind to lavish a little praise upon it. Talking about lavishing a little bit of praise, I had a very weird comment left on my From the Peak to the Pennines Collecting a Rover 623 video tonight, and it was from Dave Smith, who's a lovely chap, but Dave Smith, he never says anything nice about me. He just takes the mick in a very friendly and loving way. But yeah, he's a mick taker. He has an alternative reality where I work at a chip shop in Ripley, and so on and so on and so on. And he left a comment on that video. And the comment was, this was an epic, in big letters. This was an epic film. Mustard should be taking note. And I thought, is that, my first thought was, well, it's Dave, is that sarcasm? Or is that genuine? Because if that's genuine, coming from him, then I would be enormously pleased and gratified. So on that basis, I think I'll assume that it was genuine. And he did think that it was an epic film and that Mustard should take note. So there you are. Mustard, if you're watching, take note. Dave Smith told you. I didn't think it was a bad video myself, to be fair. I thought bits of it might not be of interest to my inner scrotum, given that it was all a journey they've seen before and information they've heard before, but on the main channel, I'm trying to remember that I'm supposed to be making videos that make sense to a new viewer. So that means kind of introducing myself a little bit and explaining what I'm doing, rather than just assuming that the video is going to be seen by 42 people, all of whom know exactly what I'm doing. And speaking of Captain Mustard, here he is. Hello, everyone, he says. I looked for your live, says Skick, not there. Hello, Paul, says Soph. Hey, Captain Mustard. Hello, Mr. Mustard. Hello, Mustard. I was live for 2 hours on Twitch, Skick, says Trace. A very cheerful Boaty. Yes, reasons to be cheerful. Reasons to be cheerful, part 1. And I can't remember any of the words. I must watch your live stream soon, Tracy, says Mustard. I have been editing a video tonight, and I've only managed about 2 minutes so far. Oh, Sean is here. Sean is here. Sean, I missed your call. I do apologise. I was driving to work when you rang, and then we had kind of a busy night, and I completely forgot to ping you a little message back. And I'm very surprised to see you here, Sean, because, well, it's a bit late, isn't it? And you were talking about maybe trying going to bed early and getting up with the larks type of thing. I mean, when you make good videos in the morning, and you certainly seem to enjoy it, and good for you. I mean, it wouldn't be for me, but we're all different. We have different we have different circadian rhythms. Oh, I forget I forget the exact nature of the rhythms that we have, but because of the work that I've done over the years, then for me, this is the best time of the day. This is when I kind of come alive and I'm at my most creative. Who's that? Dirty stop out. They're a bit late getting back, aren't they? Goodness gracious me. And they've got yet another new car. That's the not neighbour. Next door neighbour but one. The ones who complained about my cars, the cheeky so-and-sos. They've got bloody more than I have now. But Sean, it's lovely to see you here. Thank you for popping along. And I'm so excited about our next little video collaboration. I've been thinking about that quite a lot. It's going to be fun. I'm really, really looking forward to it. As are some other people, actually. Thank you, Mustard, says Trace. The recent previous ones are up there. Let me know if you need the link, but no worries, because I know you're busy. Can't read that one out. I've been going house cleaning and washing, and I've cooked tea. An Amazon man came and... oh, right, okay. What? Amazon man came and I locked the flat door, so I was locked out of my flat. Had to call the council, and oh dear, but you're back in the flat now and safe, so that's good. And now Sophie's just chilling in bed, candles on, and feeling tired. Neil is not with her tonight. She's got the place to herself. Enjoy it, Sophie. Boaty, are we having a late one tonight? No, we're bloody not. I'm buggering off. I can't do that 2 nights in a row. Bloody hell. I can't read that one out either. Good evening, says Simone of the wonderful Hooked on Classics channel. And Skip greets her by saying the famous Simone. She's quite famous now, isn't she? Hi, Sean, missed you there, says Trace. Yeah, our Sean was up super early and videoing birdsong, and I haven't watched the whole of the video. I ran out of time, but I did watch the first bit. Oh, and there was something about mayonnaise. Should it be in the fridge or should it not? Now, for me, mayonnaise should be in the fridge. But we have, I'm going to let you into a dirty secret here. We have a thing of mayonnaise at work. Now, God knows we don't serve it to the customers, but some of the staff have got the foul Belgian habit of having fries with mayonnaise. Yeah, I know. And the mayonnaise never gets put in the fridge. It just lives there in a really hot kitchen for days and weeks on end. And none of the staff have dropped dead through any sort of food poisoning. So I have to assume that mayonnaise, along with probably all of the other sauces you're told refrigerate after opening, well, yeah, tell that to Little Chef. They left the tomato ketchup and HB sauce out on the tables 24/7. And none of us died, did we? No. And we used to go to Little Chef, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, feature one. Which was your favourite little chef back in the day? This will be a brilliant feature. This will run and run. This will raise my channel to new heights. Now then, back in the days, little chefs used to be good, cool. You know, there was you had a lollipop when you left if you'd cleaned up your plate. You could have the Big Seven burger, which was a magnificent thing. You could have the Olympic breakfast, a wondrous thing. You could have a side salad, and I would buy one of these tomorrow. You could buy a side salad. I've talked about all of this before, I know, but I am obsessed with little chefs. You could buy a side salad, and it came with celery, and it came on a crescent plate. And the little chefs used to have those oval plates. I used to have some. I stole them from a pub called the Hollybush on Gorkett Hill, just outside Redditch. In the days before anybody did this sort of thing, they used to deliver a Sunday lunch, or we used to go and collect a Sunday lunch from the pub and take it to the car dealership so we could all have a decent lunch. And some of the plates just never quite made it back to the pub, you know? That was, I mean, but they were the like ovally plates, and they had this side salad on a crescent thing. So it butted beautifully into the side of your plate, and you could literally have it as a side salad. And I thought that was wonderful. But which was your favourite little chef? Now, mine was at a place called Quatford. I'm sure it was called Quatford. Or was it just Quat? No, I think it was Quatford. And that was kind of on the outskirts of Bridge North. And I would love to know if any of you remember that little chef. I used to, when I was a teenager, we used to go to Newport quite a lot. Not Newport in South Wales, the other Newport near Telford. And we used to go there because that's where a company called Jack Parker International was based. And Jack and his lovely wife and his amazing daughter, they were amazing people, and they sponsored me when I was semi-professional on the bike. So I used to be there quite often, but of course, you know, my parents had to take me there. Normally, well, it could be either mum or dad. And we would, certainly if it was mum, we would stop at Quatford Little Chef. And we stopped there as a family quite a few times as well. I remember stopping there in a Jaguar XJ6 when I was really quite young, and it gave me a love for the XJ6, which I still have to this day. I've had loads of them, and couple of XJ12s. I've had every Jaguar going, with the exception of, obviously I never had a 220. None of the modern ones, but I had, you know, XJ12, XJ6, XJS, 420G, Mark 10, Mark 2, was it an XK140? That was nice. That was nice. Plenty of E-types. Plenty of E-types. But yeah, Quatford Little Chef, it was lovely. Sometimes little chefs were in a nice setting. And I know we've talked about little chefs before, but what the hell, let's do it again. What was your favourite thing from a little chef? My favourite thing was the Big 7 burger with a side salad. Loved it. If I could have that again tomorrow, then I would, and I'd pay good money for it. I just clambered into bed myself, says Simone. Good for you. I hope you're all warm and comfy and wonderful. I do miss him, Boaty, says Sophie, talking about Neil, but I do love the bed to myself. Oh, we're all like that. I'm not that famous, says Simone. I only have 1,728 subs. Yeah, but you're kind of famous on other people's channels as well, aren't you, Simone? You're a lot better known than a channel that only has 1,728 subs. Arguably, some of your best work has been doing guest spots on other people's channels. I'd love you to do one on mine. I'd love to meet you actually, Simone, and it will happen. I'm coming down that way this year, this summer, before, what is it? Autumn. It's autumn that comes after summer, isn't it? Trace says, I had the worst rump steak earlier. Mostly some kind of cartilage, and the pepper grinder broke in my hands, and the peppercorns erupted from the grinder all over the steak, kitchen, and cooker. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Trace. Well, what a rotten thing. What a rotten thing. Oh, I haven't had steak for a while. I haven't had steak for a while. I think the last time I had steak wasn't it Valentine's Day? And somebody treated me to a piece of fillet, didn't they? Yeah. And, that was fabulous. Oh, God, now I'm craving steak again now, but that will have to wait until I become a bit less poor. But I'm sorry for your rump steak disappointment, Trace. That's a rotten thing. Mayo is in the fridge because of eggs, says Jimmy Quinn. Well, that's what I would have thought. The M11 says, I love fries with mayonnaise. My favourite chip sauce. I mean, I can't argue about it, right? It's not my personal taste. But I can't argue about it because, fries, where were they born? Belgium. And what's the traditional dip to have them with in Belgium? Mayonnaise. Oddly enough, and I was surprised by this, it's also de rigueur, or the norm, in Ukraine. Or it certainly was when I was living there. Fries with mayonnaise. There you go. Same, says Trace. Had tartar sauce with my chips last night. Even better than mayonnaise. Proper chunky tartar sauce at that. It was expensive, Boaty, says Lord Stiff Upper Lip. What was? Sorry, that came across as a bit of a non sequitur. But I'm sure you know what you're referring to, and I probably should too. Greetings, one and all, says Ross, Dino Dad. Cajun spiced potatoes with mayo is orgasmic, says M11. Well, if it works for you, darling, then good on you. Oh. I mean, I do have mayonnaise in the fridge, I think, unusually. But it is... Oh, look at this. Nandos garlic peri mayonnaise stuff. And the only time I have this is if I make, if I do a chicken burger type thing. I don't mind the odd chicken burger. Haven't had it for a while. Should have it again, actually. That mayonnaise needs using up. It's been in there a while. But yeah, I quite like, one of those southern fried chicken fillet thingammy bobbies. You buy them frozen from the supermarket, don't you? One of them in a bun, loads and loads and loads of shredded lettuce with some of that really hot peri mayonnaise stuff, and that's all right. Is that? I don't mind that, and I've not had it for a while. And now I wish I wish I'd had it today. I had a sausage bap today, and I wish I'd had that instead. I need to buy some of those chickeny things so they're in the freezer. Because I've got buns because I bought them last Monday, didn't I? Yeah, of course I did. From Safeway. They were on offer, weren't they? Well, no, they were reduced for, they were knackered. I had one of them, there was 7p for four or six, four. And I had one of them today, the first one. They were all in the freezer. Hey Ross, says Trace, and hello lovely Dino Daddy, says the M11. Jimmy at 500 says, oh no, I don't like anything that should be in the fridge. Not put back in the fridge when finished with. It's an OCD trigger. Tartar sauce, says Simone. Tried it once, never again. Oh, I love the chunky, properly made stuff, not the mass-produced crap, says Trace. I like Wimpy Grill, says Jimmy Quinn. I used to love a Wimpy back in the day. I used to love a Wimpy. They used to do, God. I think Wimpy are still about, aren't they? I haven't been to one for 30 years. But they used to do a burger, and it was, it might have been the quarter pounder or a half pounder or something. And it came in a brown bun. Exotic, European, international, healthy. It came in a brown bun with like really finely diced onion that was very obviously, not diced in it. It just came, it was frozen bloody onion, wasn't it? Really, really finely diced. And it had a sort of pinkish sauce. I used to like one of those. I mean, Wimpy was one of those burger places where stuff used to come on a plate, like the Great British Burger in the Kingfisher Centre in Redditch. None of this wrapped in plastic stuff. It came on a plate, the way that food ought to. Little Chef was never good, was it? Says Captain Mustard. Oh, back in the day, yeah. Because, you've got to go back in the day to the late 1970s or early 1980s. We didn't know any better then. We didn't have the availability that we have today. We didn't have the palettes that we had today. Little Chef was a bloody treat. And not just because of what it was, the food. It was a treat because it meant that you were on a day out, or you were going on holiday, or something wonderful and exciting was happening. Because, let's face it, nobody thinks, right, let's go out for a special occasion, darling. It's our anniversary or somebody's birthday. I know, we'll go to the local Little Chef. No. Ugh. I'm so sorry. No, you went to a Little Chef when you were on your way somewhere. And that was the excitement of it. I loved a Little Chef. I was really sorry they lost their way. There was a time when Little Chefs were bloody great. Motorway services are not the same, says Skick. Years ago, you could go in late at night and get a meal. Oh, and what happened to the 24-hour supermarkets? Well, I don't know, Skick, but I imagine they found that they weren't getting enough business to justify having all the lights on and supplying staff 24 hours a day. And they were quite possibly getting drunken idiots in at 3 o'clock in the morning, causing a ruckus. I don't know. For the non-UK based peeps, says Andrew, what is a Little Chef? Is it a food type of establishment? Yes. Yeah. Little Chefs were roadside diners. They were based on the American diner idea. So they were roadside on some motorways or normally busy A roads. And yeah, they were launched as on the American diner principle, somewhere where you could stop, pop in, and get and get something decent to eat without having your trousers and pants taken down. And they were aimed kind of at families, but also at like, you know, HGV drivers and all of that sort of thing. And they were very successful. It was a great business model back in the day, but they didn't move with the times. Was it tartar sauce on Daddy's whitebait, Trace? Asked the M11. Andrew says, "Hi Trace, I missed your live stream." XJ220 was my dream car, says Simone. I've never even sat in one, let alone driven one. I understand that, I mean, I think they look fantastic. They were obviously somewhat flawed in design, given that they were sold in advance. They were all pre-sold. They were one of those that were sold before they were made. But if I remember correctly, the customers were promised a V12 and four-wheel drive. And when the things actually wobbled out into the cold light of day, they had two Metro 6R4 engines cobbled together and two-wheel drive. And I'm reliably informed by more than one person who've driven them, no brakes at all. And the build quality wasn't amazing. Again, I've heard from more than one person that if you're in an original car with original equipment and you set off at full tilt, the stereo will fall out onto your lap. And I've heard that I've heard it from three people, because two people told me privately, and also Jeremy Clarkson said it happened when he drove one. There's a little chef between Norwich and Yarmouth still open, says Jimmy Quinn. I don't drive, says M11, so no idea. Mr. Stephen Paddy from Port Sunlight in the Whittle, the Leisure Peninsula, says, so how was your day, Jason, old chap? Flipping heck, you were full of gas. Oh dear. I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. It's been a decent day. Thank you very much. What have I done today? I've been working with Windsor Davis. He really was. He was so incredibly dirty after spending an entire winter in the yard that it's taken quite a long time to get on top of him. I've been doing more polishing and ceramic ing. So the bonnet has now been properly and fully polished and has had a ceramic coat. Busy cleaning the rest of the body, still working on the interior, doing the wheels and whatnot. I mean, he's looking fabulous. But then I took him to work tonight as a final shakedown before Monday, just so I'm utterly confident it's going to be fine on Monday. I don't want any disasters. And to put a little bit of fuel in him, because he was, well, I was going to say he was running on fumes, but he wasn't. Well, he was. He was running on fumes, and then he wasn't because he ran out of petrol. Oh, and I had a right game. I had to go down and I haven't got a petrol can. I've only got a diesel can. So I had to wash that out, dry that off, go down to the garage, which was shut, go down to the garage right down the bottom, got some petrol. Oh, I took Stigbert. That was nice. Haven't driven Stigbert for ages. Got back, and then I realised, of course, because it's a diesel can, the nozzle is too big to fit into the little unleaded flappy thing on Windsor Davis. So I had to shove that open with a tool, an appropriate tool. Oh, that would be the description of me, wouldn't it? An inappropriate tool. And get some fuel into him. He did start first time after putting some fuel in, and he behaved himself perfectly tonight. So tomorrow, I just need to rewash him, do a little bit more valeting type detailing work, and He won't be perfect or fully done, but he will be close enough for filming duties on Monday. And then I'm probably on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, I'll clean him again, and I'm going to do a walk around and review video up in Shillitoe Woods, the UK's premier dogging location. And I'm quite looking forward to doing that. I've researched quite a lot of information on the old Robo 600, and it will also be a sales video because as much as I think I want to keep him, like very, very long term, Windsor Davis is not my car at the moment, not as we stand. Windsor Davis is a company car, and that means that I'm under a moral obligation to try and sell him. So yeah, I'm going to do a sales video and hope to Christ nobody buys him, because he is just beyond fabulous. Neil is working overtime, earning more money, says Sophie. He's a good lad. Lock your door and your cat when Boaty arrives, Simone, says Jimmy F500. Bed to yourself and a hubby out making money. You're living the life, Soph, says the M11. Quite right, too. Simone says, I've had the bed to myself for 17 years, apart from my cats. That Nando's sauce is lovely with a chicken salad. Probably is. I've never tried Nando's, says Simone. Neither have I. I've never been to a Nando's. Never have I ever. Oh my God. I think that mayonnaise was on offer or something. That's why I got it. Oh God, the wine's kicking in. I'm looking forward to a nice bit of Sunday lunch tomorrow as well. I love a nice bit of Sunday lunch. Even when I can't afford a proper Sunday lunch, which I certainly can't this weekend, I normally manage to cobble together something reasonably pleasing, and hopefully tomorrow will be no exception. You can get Nando's spiced salt. That is lovely in a potato salad, says M11, who is clearly an expert on Nando's condiments. I love that Nando's sauce, says Ross. It's in the fridge at all times. Jimmy says, we have chips fried in beef dripping in the UK, Boaty. They are better than fries. I agree. How was work tonight, Boaty? Asked Lord Stiff Upper Lip. Manic, but good. Oh, on the subject of work, remember that White Star popped in last night's live stream, and I wasn't sure who it was. It was Prabina. It was a lovely Prabina who popped in and stayed for about half an hour, bless her. And Prabina is one of the lovely people that I work with. So that was nice, and she was very amused tonight that I had to guess who it was. But how the hell would I know? White Star and an anonymous profile picture and the information that she works in Ripley, or they worked in Ripley. Could have been almost anyone. But it was Prabina. Hopefully she'll pop in again sometime. She's lovely. Mr. Stephen Parry, I think, Jason, you should do a wine review when you spit out. That way it should be tested. I've done a few wine reviews. I normally talk about the wine I'm drinking if it's if it's something I've been very kindly given, or a nice one that I got on offer. But I'm buggered if I'm spitting it out. Sod that. I'm a swallower, not a spitter. Oh, yeah. M11 says, I enjoy the bed to myself too, Simone. Lush, isn't it? Nobody snoring, nobody kicking, nobody pissing the bed. and no being prodded awake in the thigh by a stray love truncheon. And that is M11 giving us a quick rundown of her previous relationships. Probably true though, isn't it? I mean, do I snore? Probably. Do I kick? I don't know. I've never pissed the bed. Well, not since I was 2. I have prodded the odd person awake with a stray love truncheon, but some people like that. Take Chinese madam, for example. Bloody hell. Every morning was like Christmas Day to her. Now, I don't know how true this is, but this actually happened, by the way. And I'm going to bugger off in a minute, darlings, because I'm not going to do a super late one. This is true. In the Chinese madam always swears blind that she chose me. And she did, because I wasn't keen at all. It took her months and months and months of perseverance and effort and becoming friends with my friends to get me to agree to giving this thing a go. And the only thing she asked in any sort of due diligence, and she was very embarrassed to ask it, and you'll have to forgive me if I'm oversharing it. You know, this is when we haven't met. Bear in mind that when Chinese madam came across me, she was in China hiding from the pandemic. She was in theory living in the UK, but she'd gone back to China, do some business, sell some properties, blah, blah, blah. And Chinese nationals were encouraged to be back at home and hiding away from the old pandemic and behaving themselves and whatnot. So all of the courtship was done entirely from her side. I didn't want to know. But the one thing she asked before she 100% chose me, and it's true, I literally had no choice. My choice would have been no thank you. And she just on, and like I say, she made friends with everybody at work and got them all on side and told them how amazing she would be for me. And so they're every night I'm going into work and they're saying, why are you not going? Perfect. But the one thing she asked was, in a very roundabout way and very shamefacedly, she did ask if I was capable of, because obviously there was the age difference. And she did ask if my little chap was capable of attending the theatre as one of the playing one of the major parts in the play, which struck me as a bit odd at the time. And, you know, I said, well, yeah, obviously. But apparently, according to her, in China, then the old dead whippet for a middle stump syndrome, whatever you want to call it, apparently that kicks in China at a fairly young age. And again, apparently, according to her, you know, anybody over 40, any man over 40, forget about it. Not happening. Absolutely not happening. So going back to the sharing the bed and the kicking and the snoring and the being prodded awake by a stray love truncheon, as M11 put it, well, I mean, that was an incredible joy to Chinese madam, wasn't it? And she took, well, as I've told you many times, God, it was terrible. I mean, for the first couple of weeks, it was nice. Being assaulted before coffee every single morning gets a bit much. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, a king size to myself. Heaven, M11, says Trace. Simone's having a little giggle at Love Truncheon. Welcome, Boaty's maiden burp, says Trace, quite rightly. I used to have a super king size to myself, size M11. It was like sleeping in a field. I have a king size, says Simone, but Georgia takes up most of the space. Supermarkets near me are still 24 hours, says Trace. I am in London, though. What time is it? Oh, start saying good night, darlings. It's midnight, isn't it? And I need to have a really, really productive day. Oh, hello. I'm being ping-ponged. Who's that? Let's have a look. Oh, there we are. Yeah, I need to have a super productive day tomorrow and really get ready for Monday. I'm really looking forward to Monday, darlings. I'm really excited about it. I've got it pretty much planned out in my head, but like with episode 1, I'm leaving a lot of room for see how it goes on the day. So there are certain points that I've got absolutely planned, and I've either literally written it or in my mind I've written a script for that element of it. But then I haven't scripted. All of the scripting that I've done has been intro, outro, that sort of thing, and any footage I've got has all been around that. The actual content there, the meeting, I've got that. I've designed it, scripted it, whatever. But the actual bit when we're there, that's going to all be done on the hoof. God, I'm being texted as well now. Bloody hell. It's all kicking off. What's all that? Don't be tight, boat. Keep it going. I need sleep, man. I'll tell you what. We'll compromise. We'll go until 12:30. We'll do the hour. We'll go until 12:30, and then it's onion time, and that's shallot. I've got curry to eat, don't you know? Oh, and it's really good curry tonight. Really good. Staff curry, absolutely at its best. Oh, have a look at this. Oh, fabulous. I just need to add some, I forgot to buy tomatoes. Just need to add some chicken and some onion. And I've got roti, and I've got the rice, the roti, got everything we need. Me looking forward to me supper. I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that, darlings. But I need to get to kip tonight. I need to be sensible. I need not to be drunk out of my mind. And tomorrow, I really have got to. I've got to be grown up. I've got to go to work tomorrow as well. Wouldn't it be great if I didn't have to go to work and I could just prepare for making a wonderful video? But the reason I can't do that is because, right, here are the economics of YouTubing, darlings. And Joseph was talking about this. Now, whenever it was, a week last Monday, then, between us, because we did it together, didn't we? We spent however much it was on the hotel, a shed load of money on fuel, paid £9 something for a bowl of chips, a tea, and 2 teas and a coffee, 1 tea and a coffee, although that was by Sean, bless him. Some dodgy sandwiches from Asda, more fuel, and whatever else. So a right few quid was spent. So say what, 200 quid? Something like that. How much has the video made so far? £3.63p. And that's why we have to go to work, darlings, because oh dear. Because YouTube, for many people, is a loss maker. Now, if you do what mustard does, oh hello, frozen the wine turds. If you do what mustard does and you just video your daily doings, where you are anyway, then it kind of doesn't cost you anything at all. So anything that you make on YouTube is just earnings, profit. But to be honest, you're kind of lucky if you can do that. A lot of people can't, like Joseph, who goes about the place making videos on cars and this, that and the other, going to shows. And it means that you're running at a loss, although that's purely in business terms. In reality, of course, you're indulging your hobby, and you'd probably be going to the car shows anyway and that sort of thing, but it's quite a leap of faith to do it as a business. Because, yeah, it's really difficult to make it pay. I do think that Hubnut was brave taking that leap, and quite early on when he wasn't earning enough money from YouTube to justify doing it, but he wanted to do it full time to see if he could then make it work. And as I've said before, you know, he wasn't flying solo. He had a wife, and his home expenses were probably covered, or at least to some degree. But yeah, I thought it was a brave thing. Simone, says Ross, you're not missing much from the Nandos. It's just the sauce that's quite nice. Jimmy says, Boaty, what about Burnie Inn restaurants? I don't remember ever going to one. I remember that they were a thing. I remember beef eaters when I was a kid, but I don't really remember Burnie Inn. I think I might have to upgrade my mattress size, says Trace, once I've finished creating my bedroom. I'd love a Super King. I haven't even got a king size. I am in a standard double. I have a standard double, but I do have a king size quilt. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been Maureen Lipman was recommended a mattress, and it was one of these Super Kings or Super Queens or something like that, by a friend who was also a wife, and said it's amazing, you can really get away from each other. But with the people that I've chosen to share my life with for a certain length of time and share my bed with, I quite like being up close and personal, and I've never minded a double. And yeah, when I'm with somebody, then I like sleeping all intertwined and jiggled up and all, you know, wound around each other. I rather love that. That's one thing I quite miss about the old being alone. But yeah, when I sleep with someone, I like it to be all coochie, intertwined, wound around each other. That's what I like, not the getting away from each other, facing the other way, all of that. I'm a sucker for some good chicken, Ross, says Simone. M11 says, well, yeah, a country as big as Georgia would take up quite a lot of the bed, Simone. I think Georgia is a cat. Skick says, KFC has gone downhill. It stinks outside of dirty fat. Oh, Kids Fattening Centre, KFC, says someone. Thanks for the explanation, Little Chef. Not at all. Hello, Neil's back. Oh, he's not. He's still at work. Neil says, sorry I'm late. I'm still at work, putting the overtime in. Sophie told us you're a good man. I haven't had anything from KFC, says Trace, since about 2012, when I was staggering back from a gay pub and drag show after a 16-hour booze session, and a friend bought me some popcorn chicken. I've not had KFC for a while. It's sometimes I think I really fancy it. Well, going back when, there's been a couple of times I thought I really fancy it, and I've had it, and I thought, well, I regret that. I love you all, says Soph, but I'm really tired. I'm off. Much love. Can't stay up. Can't keep my eyes open. Good night, Soph. I'm going to see if I can find a little chef down here, says Simone, just for shits and giggles. You deleted yesterday's stream, Boaty, says Jimmy. I didn't. I've not deleted it. I've temporarily made it private, and I'm going to, because, it went in a certain way, I'm going to do two things with it. Number one is I'm going to edit it and put it out as an actual video rather than a live, and that will be Saturday Night Live highlights. And then when I've done that, I'll make the whole thing available to channel members only. Because I'm aware that I was a little bit indiscreet towards the end of it. A little bit of diesel won't hurt, it says Mustard. Oh, says Skick, are you a lesbian, Tracy? And Tracy says, no, I'm bisexual. Why do you ask? Fair enough. I've ridden pillion on a thunder race and diversion, says Trace. And, God, I don't know what to do with that. Mustard says, I thought detailing was boring, Boaty. Well, yeah, it is. But then I haven't filmed it. I might have filmed the end result a little bit. I enjoy detailing. I just enjoy a different kind of detailing to Mustard, because Mustard goes absolutely OCD insane on the exterior, whereas I go OCD extreme on the interior. So that's a difference. But because Windsor Davis looks fabulous, I've been working on the exterior too. And I genuinely put some real effort into the old polishing over the last couple of days, and the ceramic, and it looks amazing. The two panels that I've properly done, the roof and the bonnet, they look absolutely awesome. And the rest of the car looks brilliant too. And I just keep looking at it and thinking, and that's quite addictive. It helps that it's a better colour. It's difficult to go mad with the detailing on silver because it kind of doesn't reward you. Whereas that colour, which is, I watched your video again, Mustard, in the bath today on Windsor Davis. And you said it was champagne gold, and we discovered it's not. It's white gold too, is the colour, and it's fantastic. And when you really polish the arse out of it, and the sun shines, oh, it doesn't have pop and bang. And that's quite addictive. And I've always been a bit jealous of Nigel and the way that he looks. Oh, Skick. I'm not reading that out. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Sorry, I'm kind of whizzing over these bits, partly because it is kind of time to go, but partly because it's a discussion of a sexual nature, which is interesting. But it's there in the chat. I don't particularly need to read it out. But yeah, talking about sexuality and bisexuality and all of that kind of thing. I mean, for what it's worth, while we're talking about it, I think you all know where I stand. I'm straight, um, but I really enjoy the company of gay people, both male and female. And I've told you before, one of the best nights of my life was in a gay pub and then a gay nightclub, the Flying Handbag and the Pink Flamingo. To be honest, I think that if you're secure in your own sexuality, whatever that might be, and it doesn't matter what it is, then you won't give a raving hoot about what anybody else is or does. Because, you know, unless you're doing it with or to them, it's none of your damn business. You know, people are just people. Take them as people. And, you know, what they choose to do behind closed doors with consenting others, you don't need to worry about that. Morning wood is rare in my bed nowadays, says Jimmy F. Arm. Oh, God, I can't read that. Oh, I've got to read this one out. Mustard says, Skick is definitely not gay. Mind you, I could turn him. Right, I'm not reading any of that. Sleep time, night everyone. Half an hour, say Simone. And yeah, let's all say good night. The only criticism I had of the Wales video, says Ross, was the wind noise. If you can somehow shield the microphone. I wasn't using a microphone. That was the thing. We did it in the moment. We both had microphones with us in the car, and we didn't get them out because it was genuinely just of the moment. We jumped out of the car and we took it in, and we should have used microphones. I think the way that I filmed it mitigated it a bit, but in an ideal world, then we should have had microphones. Excuse me. The curry is a bit watery. The curry, Nepali curry, is a very different consistency to Indian curry. Properly, it's called jal, and it's soup consistency. And oh God, it's amazing. I'll go for 10 more minutes, says Trace. I'll read your comments and then that's it. And then spend 10 minutes talking about YouTube. £3.63, better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Yeah, but oh, hello, Prabina's here, White Star. I was talking about you earlier. Don't know if you saw that. Hello. Prabina is lovely. Everybody say hello to Prabina. The poor thing has to put up with me on quite a few nights a week. And she thinks that I'm an absolute lunatic, quite rightly. I wondered if the big YouTubers pay income tax, says Ross. Well, I mean, I don't know because I mean, I can assure you that they will pay income tax in the United States, because when you earn on YouTube, then you're being paid by Google, which is an American company, and you have to pay US federal tax. Now, because the US and the UK have a deal, you pay a reduced rate, but before you even get your hands on your YouTube money, you have paid US federal tax on it. I pay it, everybody else does too. As for UK taxes, well, you know, that's up to them. They're self-employed. What earnings they report. Now, I mean, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I report all of my earnings, but you know, my YouTube earnings are so small, and there are expenses involved, that on paper I make a loss, but I declare every single penny that comes in through YouTube, and I would hope that everybody else does too. But no doubt there will be some no doubt there will be an element of creative accountancy. And what you earn via your AdSense account, which is your advertising revenue, in other words, what YouTube pay you, and your fan funding, that there's a paper trail on all of that. So if you didn't declare that, you would have to be a fucking lunatic, quite honestly. But then most bigger YouTubers, they earn their real money from the side deals with sponsorship and product placement and all of that. And that would be really quite easy to hide. So, you know, I would imagine a lot of that flies under the HMRC radar. But, you know, that's an individual thing. And it's not something I've ever asked anybody else, but I declare every penny, because it's not something I want to worry about, and it's not a lot of pennies, so. Captain Mustard says, oh, Andrew's saying hello to Pravina. Captain Mustard says, do you lose subscribers featuring Sean on your videos, like I do featuring you? Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know, is the honest answer to that. He's only been on one of my, oh, well, he's been on live streams, hasn't he? Do I lose subscribe? Well, no. It's obviously a net gain. Sean is a massive channel. He's kind enough to do some stuff with me and mention me. And when he does, I get a spike of 100 subscribers in 24 hours. Whereas you and I must have, it's very different for us. It's true. We're not joking. When I started appearing on Mustard's video, people unsubscribed. And now when Mustard appears on my video, people unsubscribe. It's like we said in the video from last Monday that I put out. We basically just fail at everything that we try in every conceivable sense, but we have such a good time doing it that we don't want to stop. And I'm looking forward to Monday. Oh, Mustard, if you're still watching again, a reminder. Don't bring lunch on Monday. I'm treating you. Oh, yes, says Trace. I hoped you would edit and make last night's live members only. I was a bit shit-faced by the end, and I wanted to re-watch it to see what I missed. Keep the funny stuff in. Yeah, we'll do Trace. Don't worry, it's not disappeared forever. That's what I'm going to do with it. The whole thing will be, and this will be tomorrow, I think, as long as I get time, as long as I get up in the morning. It's 20 to 1 now, for fuck's sake. The whole thing will be channel members only, and highlights are going out onto a video, because it was a great live, and thank you all. We could team up cleaning the car then, says Mustard. Yeah, Nigel would be so much better if I was responsible for the interior. Oh dear. Oh, M11 is going to be a guest on Trace's Twitch next week. And everybody start to say good night. And I report my earnings, says Jimmy Quinn. I don't think so. I report every single penny. You poor girl, says Mr. Stephen Paddy. Working with this guy, Jason. Only joking, he's a nice chap. Andrew says, Boaty, you should discreetly place some Top Dom products around the kitchen for a subtle product plug. Right, I've caught up with the comments. And I'm going to bugger off because it's like super duper late. And I genuinely am planning a properly good day tomorrow. There'll be a daily diary for the channel members. And we'll be doing a live tomorrow night. And it's all about getting ready for Monday. So, thank you, M11. Thank you for telling me I'm a good boy. Good boy, Boaty. Yeah, I've got all sorts of mundane stuff to do, like washing up and laundry and stuff, as well as the video planning stuff and car cleaning stuff. I'm really excited about it. And let's not forget that episode 3 is also in the planning works. And for those who didn't know, episode 3 is going to be me and Sean again. And we are going to be doing Barry Island. Unless something changes, but I think we're pretty much set on that. You guys seem to think it was a good idea. And that's going to be great. Okay, here we go. Right. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate so many of you staying up late for this nonsense. I hope you have a great day tomorrow, whatever you're doing. And I hope you have a safe and peaceful night tonight. Tomorrow night will be earlier. It will be 11 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll go through until midnight. If you would be if you'd be kind enough to pop along, I'd be very grateful. So yeah, have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. I hope you have a lovely Sunday. I'm going to be at home making a nice Sunday lunch, cleaning a car and doing laundry and that sort of exciting stuff. And then I'll be going to work, and then I will catch up with you 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. That's for you, Mustard. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Be Jesus Christ now. I'll be seeing you again tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And be sure, don't miss out now. Don't miss out. Oh, go on. You'd like to come. You will. You will. You will come, won't you? Okay. Much love, darlings. Good night. See you tomorrow. Pachoo and indeed. Bosh.